Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex again with another Disabled Vet's Perspective. Tonight's going to be a short one because there's still a lot of mommy stuff left to do for people, and I know you don't want to spend your last part of your Mother's Day staring at a face like this, because it's one that a mother can only love, if you know what I mean. Um, anyway, I wanted to do a little quick shout out to one of my subscribers. He put a comment under one of my episodes that I posted on here, and he stated that if I don't support marijuana being legalized, that I do not support freedom and that I should delete my channel. First off, I don't think that a person should have to delete their channel if their opinions might differ from one another. That's probably a little excessive. But the other thing is, in my other videos I have mentioned that I do 100% support the use of marijuana for medicinal purposes or whatever. I think that there should be no limitations on what a person does to their own body. The ultimate freedom is what you can do to yourself. And maybe that means that some people do bad things to themselves, but that's not my business, with the exception of abortion. I think it's disgusting. I think it's incredibly selfish, and I think that taking another life, that's not giving that life a choice of its own. You're doing it for them, so that takes away their freedom, and I totally disagree with that. But things like peyote, mushrooms, they've actually found that magic mushrooms with a very small dose and a controlled dose, they're finding that people that have epilepsy are basically darn near cured with this stuff. They're giving them real small doses of magic mushrooms, and they're finding that their seizures go to very minimal to almost zero in some cases. And I think that the Native Americans used to do natural medicine a long time before there was ever any consideration for chemical medications, and I think they did pretty well. The elders in the Indian tribes would live well into their 80s and 90s, and you talk about the Europeans at the time, their life expectancies were up in the 50s, and then the Native Americans, being completely holistic and natural with their medications and their practices, were real long livers. So I totally support alternative medicine. My father was a doctor, and one of the things that he always told me was, if it works, you use it. They don't have to like it, but if it's effective, then use it anyway. At the end of his life, I lost him 5 years ago. He was suffering from multi-system atrophy, Parkinson's, and cancer, and his hands would just be like this. He'd try to put a spoon to his mouth, and the food would just end up all over his face, And my sister came down from Kentucky, and she brought some special grass with her, and we sat there on the back porch and pulled on that a little bit, and within 5 minutes of him having a joint, then he held his hand up like this, and there was no motion at all. So he started to use that, and it definitely improved his last, probably about a year and a half that he was here. He was able to eat meals without wearing them, and we weren't looking for the ultimate buzz and trying to crank ourselves. It was just enough to bring control to the shaking. So he wasn't ever going, this is good shit, man. He was just normal. There's a difference. You can take stuff to brain dead yourself, or you can take stuff for the potential help it can give you. Personally, I don't use the marijuana anymore. I have before, and it's fine one way or another. If you use it, I don't care. But with the VA they're constantly looking at reasons to find us incompetent and find an excuse to take away our rights and things like that. So they piss test us every time we go in for an appointment, and that means that we get the old, if you're doing marijuana, then uh, you're not within your control to do things like owning a gun and handling your own affairs. They find all kinds of reasons to make us look stupid. So I don't mess with it, but I use CBD oil as long as it's processed and the THC has been completely removed from it. So that's where I go with it. But anyway, if you look through the rest of my videos, you'll see that I am absolutely for 100% freedom. And that's the reason I do all of this. I could sit in my chair and enjoy my freedom quietly while it still lasts, or I could get out here and expose the tactics that are used to try to take those freedoms away, and I choose the latter. I've sat on information for years, and now it's time for me to continue to do what I'm doing and get that information to the people. I got some really interesting stuff coming up in the near future, and I think you guys will enjoy it. But anyway, that's what I've got this time. I want to thank all my subscribers. We're up to 285. We keep going up and coming back, going up, coming back, but it's a normal process, and our channel's growing a little bit at a time. If you guys like what I have to say, make sure you hit the like button. Might have to hit it 10 times. You know, it doesn't stick, but give it a shot anyway. Make sure you tell your friends about me if you like what I have to say. Subscribe to my channel, and you guys enjoy the rest of your Mother's Day. Hang on to those mothers, because you don't get them forever, and when they're gone, you're gonna look for those times where you wish you could give them a call and talk to them about something. But take that to heart. Family first. Take care of them. Love them. Stay with them. And all. Stay in the fight.